Hello and welcome, my friends. It is I, Jaffa. Today's episode is another grindy soapbox. The video content will not have anything to do with the audio. This particular grindy soapbox is brought about by the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. Now, for those who do not know, ALS, it actually has a name, and I cannot pronounce it. The last two words is lateral sclerosis. Anyway, look it up. The address is alsa.org. They are a charitable, they're awareness organization. They do need support. The Ice Bucket Challenge was developed, I don't believe, by the ALS Foundation, but it was developed to try and raise the awareness. So here's where my dilemma is. It's not that people are doing the Ice Bucket Challenge. That is all well and good. The problem that I'm having is I live in the mid-United States. I live in Oklahoma. Here we have a 78% Christian population. These very same Christians say that they believe in the freedom of choice. Yet, here's the problem. They will criticize anyone who exercises that freedom of choice. My example, my proof, is what happened at work today. The ALS challenge hit work today, and a lot of people hopped on board. No problem with that. When a person was asked to go out and do it, and they refrained, they said, I would rather not. The question got asked to them, why? Don't you care about the people suffering from ALS? I personally don't know how he could respond to that. You're saying that if I don't step up and I don't do what you say to do, then I'm heartless. I just don't care. Well, I wanted to defend my friend, and so I hopped on to the computer and I started looking at other ALS refrainers. That's my little keyword for the people who are choosing not to accept that challenge. The ALS refrainers, one of them in particular, was compared to Hitler. The words actually said, "You are as bad as Hitler." Why? Why is this person as bad as Hitler? Because they chose not to do an Ice Bucket Challenge. There's no mention of what charities this person supports, so they may not support charitable organizations. They may be putting more than 60% of their salary to charitable organizations. No one knows except for that person. And yet they are being called Hitler, being compared to Hitler, a man who is directly responsible for millions of deaths, almost genocide of an entire people. Wow. So if you don't support what I feel is important, then you must be the root of all evil and must be destroyed. Sorry, I'm getting off on a angry rant. I'm going to stop right there and try to bring it back around. Anyway, the problem that I've seen today was the fact that anyone who did not choose to step up was being criticized because of their freedom of choice. I want to address that directly. People have the right to choose whether or not they're going to step up to this challenge. Being challenged is not an obligation to follow through. Now, for those who do not know what this challenge is, it is if you're nominated or challenged to do this challenge, I've heard it several different ways. You either within 24 hours pour ice on your head in a video so that there's video proof, and pay $10. I've heard it where you don't pay $10. But anyway, or the punishment for not pouring the ice is you pay $100. I've even heard one person say that it was $1,000 to this charity. And, it's great that people are doing that. But let's get real here. The ALSA.org does not get any benefit of you recording yourself having ice water poured on your head. Yes, it's going to make people search out what Lou Gehrig's disease is, but it is not going to find a cure. What's going to find a cure is those people who say, okay, I accept the challenge, but I'm paying the money. I'm not pouring the ice water on my head. Or, like J-San019, a Minecraft player. Minecraft is a game that some of you may know. Anyway, it is J-San019, his real life name is Jeff. He said in his video, I'm taking it to the next level. I am paying the money, but I'm also doing the ice bucket challenge. And all of his buddies at the firehouse, they helped him out. There was 4 different cameras from 4 different angles. Once he dumped the ice on his head, they opened up the hoses on him. It was great. And then he made the announcement, I'm challenging these people. Actually, he may have done that before dumping. I can't remember. But he stepped it up that way. He said, I am paying the money. And that's where the challenge really needs to be. It's not to step up and pour ice water on your head. That's the cheap way out. I mean, seriously. Bag of ice, $1.50. A container to hold it in, go to the Dollar Tree. It's $1 at the Dollar Tree for a bucket. I mean, even if you was to go to one of the more expensive stores, it's less than $5 for the bucket. Maybe $2 for the ice. So you're talking $7 to try and get out of paying any amount of money, and then to challenge your friends to do the same. One of the things that I want to address in later grindy soapboxes is just because everybody's doing it doesn't make it the right thing to do. I mean, this isn't a popularity contest. It really isn't. Just because you've seen a lot of people pouring ice water on their heads for this wonderful foundation. What can I say? Just because you see people doing that and saying, I am supporting this by taking this cheap way out, why would you step up to that challenge in that way? I mean, these good Christians that I'm talking about in Oklahoma, they keep saying things like, what would Jesus do? Well, let me tell you what I know about their Jesus. Their Jesus would not be pouring water on his head. He would be in the hospitals holding the patient's hands. He would be out there telling people on the streets, give up your money for this cause because it is needed. He would not be on YouTube with a bucket of ice water. So these good Christians that are around here claiming that they're doing good by recording this temporary uncomfortableness. I mean, the water warms up in less than 5 minutes on your skin. And besides, once you're off camera, you're grabbing a towel. You're cleaning up even faster. So to say that you are really helping the organization just by getting wet, go swim in a pool of ice water and make it about half an hour. That's gonna really wake people up. You know, these publicity stunts, that's all it is. A publicity stunt. Not any way related to the actual organization. They just are using this to try and draw awareness. And yes, there will be people who step up and pay the money to the organization. Great. I absolutely love that idea. It will draw that kind of awareness. But to just simply get the information out there that Lou Gehrig's disease exists, that this ALSA.org is an actual organization that needs your help. I cannot stand publicity stunts like this. And in reality, when I look at the people doing these challenges, some of them have a true heart of gold, who truly want to help the organization. But I see others as just saying, this is something to do, and I get my name out there, I get to smile at the camera. They're using it, well, quite frankly, the way that I use my channel, Jaffa, is a way for me to express myself. But they are using an organization that they didn't care enough to donate to a month ago. Less than a month is how long this ALS Ice Bucket Challenge has been happening. 1 month ago, these people who are doing this challenge didn't even know about that organization. And in a month, if they are still donating to that organization, then they are good. But I bet most of the people who are dumping ice on their head today think that their obligation to that organization is done. And by the way, you don't have to support that organization. It is a choice. If you choose to support the organization, then you are supporting a great cause. But it's not an obligation. No one should be pressured or bullied, like what I witnessed today, into supporting an organization that they did not choose to support of their own free will. We need to be better, not only as Oklahomans, not only as Americans, as a whole freaking human race. We need to stop thinking that we can judge one another by our own set of standards. Just because I climbed to the top of Mount Everest doesn't mean everybody should. Doesn't mean everybody can. Just because I like to swim in the ocean where the sharks are doesn't mean that everybody should get in the water with me. We need to start respecting one another's points of view. And not only respecting those points of view, but respecting them in those points of view. Sorry guys, I went off on that tangent far too long. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, guys. You know my heart. You know that I am an equalitist, that I believe in being fair and equal to everybody. And this kind of behavior of trying to challenge someone into doing something that they did not choose is disturbing. It's frightening. Sorry, I'm starting up again. My friends, if you choose to take this challenge, thank you for taking this challenge. If you choose not to, then thank you for choosing not to. My friends, as always, may peace find you well.